All right, here we go. Part 2, Steve Quayle and John Stokes, okay? And like I said, I'm stopping the CD and expounding and elaborating on what they're saying and adding what little bit of knowledge I have to what they've already said, because, you know, in interviews they roll, and you can't get everything in you want to say, so I'm just simply adding in with them to what they're saying. So, and let me say this, let me say this, and some of you may know Steve, some of you may not. You may have listened to him over the years like I have. Steve Quayle is a Christian, okay? Steve Quayle does not believe in no pre-tribulation rapture. Steve Quayle believes that it's going to get tough and rough, just like I believe, okay? And, you know, a lot of you that have watched some of my videos, or a lot of my videos, and there's some of you that I'll notice on the counter, I don't know if YouTube's suppressing the amount or whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to put it out there and put the truth out there. And what happens is going to be in God's hands. There's no need, you know, I tell you, I've tried to mature as I've come on YouTube since July of last year, and I've tried to mature in the fact to know that these people that attack, they just simply hate good. They simply hate good. They love evil. It's just that simple. I mean, there's no putting it any other way except that they love evil and they hate good. So I'm going to try my best, y'all, to just let it be roll off my back like water off a duck's back. And if I may say it, I've had a lot of maturity since July of 2008 within the YouTube realm. And as it's available, which in the not so distant future it won't be, and I've already took avenues to be somewhere else when this goes completely dead. It's already dead, but I believe the grace of God and through prayer is allowing the truth to continue to get out. But having said that, I'll try to shut up for a minute, and y'all please continue to listen to this interview with Steve and John.
All those guys are ready to go on a moment's notice. As a matter of fact, there have been 2 instances. One night was the night that Alex Jones and I were doing the broadcast. Being on talk radio, John, it's not what I know, it's who I know, and the knowing the who can tell you the what. In other words, most people are just spectators in this. I believe as a calling on my life is to be a biblical watchman. I have sounded the alarm, and my track record being on record 15 years prior to the event and taken a lot of you-know-what over the years. The point is now people are panicked because they see everything they've trusted, everything they believed in being systematically taken out from under them. In other words, the foundations are being destroyed. And the 11th Psalm says this, it says, if the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? The answer to that is very little.
Oh, stop. Okay. Now, I'm going to expound and add some other stuff that he probably ain't going to say here coming up, but I want to add it because I feel in my heart I need to. The American people have been raped and pillaged and lied to and stole from, and I got to ask you a question. Honestly, I'm not promoting violence in what I'm fixing to say or nothing else, so don't even get that crap going again, because I have never promoted violence. I have promoted defending your family, defending your kids, your wife. I have promoted defending your property, your food, your weapons, and your sovereignty as a sovereign citizen. Most of you, that flew out right over your freaking head, didn't it? No, you are a sovereign citizen of the United States of America, okay? So therefore you have rights, and by the way, above that, I have certain inalienable rights from God: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And anybody that comes screwing with that, it will be met with overwhelming force. It's just, look, it's just that simple. And God will be smiling when He sees men stand up for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Not bowing down to some chicken doo-doo coward that thinks they're supposed to be a martyr for Jesus. No, let me tell you something. There's plenty of martyrs for Jesus already all over this country, but you know what? Hey, they're disarmed. They don't have the right to keep and bear arms, okay? They don't have that ability. But God has given America the ability and the right. No country on this earth has the right that we do as sovereign citizens to keep and bear arms, and it shall not be infringed. And if you don't like a gun and you don't like a weapon, that's fine. You don't have to tote one, you don't have to buy one, but you need to keep your dadgum mouth shut about us that own them, okay? Because we're not giving them up. It ain't gonna happen. I will defend my wife, my kids, my friends, and I'll even defend the homosexual's right to be a homosexual in America. By God, it ain't right, and I preach against it. But if that's what he wants to do behind his closed doors, then I'll defend his right. And by the way, you couldn't be up here standing and talking and running your mouth like you do, some of you liberals, if our men and women, former servicemen, women and men had not took up weapons and did not fight for your right for free speech. So don't sit there and tell me that Jesus Christ of Nazareth put every one of them in hell because they fought for freedom. That's an ignorant, stupid, daggone comment that you make, and you need to shut your mouth about it. Anyway, got fired up for a minute, y'all. Easy, take it easy. Heart ain't racing, I'm just passionate. Let's move on with the interview.
Oh, you see America just being gutted from the inside. We got no borders. We have 30 million, 40, 50 million illegals in our country. Our homes are worth less than we owe on them. And jobs are disappearing by the hundreds of thousands. I mean, this is psychologically really a mess.
Well, it's not even psychologically a mess. It basically is realistically a mess.
Yeah.
You know, over the years, I've tried to tell people, obviously I've been in the precious metals business. I wrote a book, one of the first books, talking about investment perspectives on precious metals back in the 70s, okay? That was the first book I ever wrote. And the thing is, I was telling people, look, you cannot go on printing money, and we all know this, we all hear it, but we forget the 500 currencies, paper currencies that have existed in history have all been repudiated.
Stop. I wanted to add this to what he just said about printing money. Here's what I'm telling you is coming too. You ready? We had deflation. Now we're fixing to have major hyperinflation. Watch the commodity prices rise. Watch them skyrocket. I'm not an economist. I'm a human being with common sense that barely got out of high school. I made a 50 the first 6 weeks in English and a 50 the second 6 weeks, so I did make 100, but I had to put 2 6 weeks together to do it. You understand what I'm saying? And I did graduate, but at the same time, I did not get my understanding and my knowledge from going to no daggum fame account school. I got it because guess what? I did not let the lies that they spewed into my brain, my hard drive. I discounted it. That's why I'm not so polluted and dumbed down. Now some of you think I'm dumber than a brick. That's fine, that's your opinion. But I'm telling you, listen to me. When it all wraps up and everybody has to lay the cards on the table for the final showing, we'll see who's right, won't we? Let's move on.
Now we've got a situation where China today is raising their hackles about buying any more of our debt, and quite candidly, we've been raped, pillaged, and plundered. The United States, as everyone has known it, is going under. We've got multinational forces in our country. We've got our U.S.
Hold it. You heard what he said, multinational forces in our country. I've been screaming it since 2001 and telling people. And you know what they told me? There's no way. It's not true. Well, because the very people that told me that I was a lunatic and wasn't true is the very people that depend on the flipping one-eyed devil television to give them their truth. They have made that television out to be their God, man, and you cannot do that. There are foreign troops stationed in our country right now. They are at retired bases, just like Steve's going to tell you, and I've been screaming it, and other people have been screaming it, and they are here, and guess what? Hey, listen to me, liberal. They don't give a rat's behind about you, and by the way, if you know any law enforcement officers or whatever, you need to explain to them that these foreign troops do not care. They do not care about that law enforcement officer's family or his kids. They're here for one purpose, because guess what? They have a disconnect. They're from a foreign country, and it ain't nothing for them to come in and kill and rape and pillage the American people on an order because they get paid to do it, and it's just simply a job to them, and you by God better wake up to it and wake up now. I'll be right back, part 3.